Hello and welcome back to the Variant Geek Podcast. I'm Brennan.
I'm Zach.
Jason.
How's your guys' week's been?
You do that every time. Big old sigh. I'm doing alright. Tired of homework.
It's almost.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know.
Anyone who was just watching just turned it off because of silence.
I know.
Well,
it's been a wild week after spring break.
in light of us just spending 4 hours. Oh, how are you, Zachary? Sorry, you asked the question. I forgot. How are you?
No, let's continue.
How are you?
I'm alive, I guess.
This is why I didn't want you to talk.
Okay, see ya.
I'm catching up on stuff, so I'm doing alright.
I'm mustarding some stuff.
Like time with your long lost son.
Anything coming out soon that you guys are looking forward to? Nobody.
With
Featuring
Bob Odenkirk.
Jason, anything you're looking forward to?
Godzilla vs. Kong.
The Justice League Zack Snyder cut.
Shut up. I was literally about to talk about that.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking forward to the Mass Effect Remastered Edition.
When is that coming out?
May 14th.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It should be a lot of fun playing through Mass Effect for the 100th time. But on a different topic, we'll actually go.
In light of us just spending 4 hours and some change of our lives watching the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League, we thought, what would be a good topic for today? Discussing Marvel and DC. Many different aspects of, and maybe not even just those two. We talk about other franchises as well. We could talk about some Capcom stuff, I'm sure, because it's technically superhero-esque. But focusing mainly on Marvel and DC.
So what'd you guys think of the Snyder Cut?
Overrated.
Jason?
Long.
I'd have to agree. I think the pacing was really bad.
The pacing was abysmal, man. Like, the amount of times that I heard, when Wonder Woman did anything.
Yeah, the audio choices, the music choices, especially like some of the songs, like when Aquaman is walking across the dock, and it just plays that really dumb song for no reason.
For like an hour.
Are you talking about the when the women are singing?
No, that's when he's going into the ocean. That was also pointless.
I literally went...
We looked at each other like, why are we here?
I mean, the epilogue, like with the nightmare scene, was really cool. Jared Leto's Joker definitely got redeemed a lot. I actually really liked his laugh. I liked how he spoke, some of his mannerisms. Obviously, he drew some of it from some of the other great Jokers. But I like the ties to I think it's Jason Todd because Joker killed Robin. But overall, I'd say, is it a good film? Is it a good superhero film? Yes. Is it the best one ever made that a lot of people are claiming it is?
Heck yeah.
No, not even close. What would you guys give your official rating on that movie as?
Out of
10.
3.5.
Really, that low?
Mm-hmm. It did not hold my interest for longer than 5 minutes at a time. The fight scenes while they were here. Okay, let me sit up for this. All right, we're gonna get down and dirty with the brass tacks here real quick. I think, going off of what Zach said, audio choices dumb, script writing not super stellar. I don't think the pacing was there at all. I was more interested in Suicide Squad than I was in this, and that's saying a lot. I thought it's a mixed bag for me on the CG. It's very obvious where a majority of the money for CG went to, that being Steppenwolf and the Parademons, because there were some questionable moments, especially with Cyborg, where I'm like, am I just playing Injustice? Because this man, granted it's 3/4 of a face, but it was questionable at best. And then in the epilogue, when the ships are flying, it literally looked like I was playing like the Terminator arcade stand-up game from like 2007.
Okay, I didn't think it looked nearly that bad.
Like it looked like a video. Do you know what I'm talking
Well,
about?
it did look
Thank
like
you.
a video game, but it definitely didn't look like 2007 PS2 bad.
I think
I didn't say
my
PS2.
favorite CGI moment was Batman reaching for his
Yes,
the
the grapple.
grapple hook. It looked so bad.
I really liked. I really liked watching Aquaman swim the first time when he's just planked out flat, just going. Or the zooming in on Hippolyta for no reason for like 5 seconds
Riding the
when
horse.
she's riding the horse away. I was like, why? There was just a lot of questionable moments for me. That being said, I appreciate the artistic value that the movie holds. Like, as an art student, I get why they did a majority of the things they did. I just don't think they were done well. I think it's something that they could have easily done, like like we were talking about, like the Hateful Eight did, and split it into parts, and even maybe release the parts over like a 4-week period to keep interest going. Because I guarantee you, in 2 weeks, interest is gone.
Yeah, and there's also like not really any rewatchability with this movie because that's a lot of time to invest.
Yeah.
I think now, while everything negative that I did say, I do want to point out performances by actors. I really like. I like Ben Affleck. I've never really disliked Batfleck. I enjoy him.
Mm-hmm.
I think he looks goofy sometimes. Like the goggles look goofy on him, but that's not him. I think Ezra Miller did a great job with Flash.
Oh yeah,
He was one of the best parts of the entire movie to me.
I'd have to agree.
But I mean, that's his whole point, is the comedic relief, especially in tandem with like Cyborg and Aquaman's relationship. I liked that. It was really random and out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, they were like, "What's good, brother?" And I'm like, "Okay, sounds good." Yeah. And I was like, I don't really know where this came from, but okay. Gal Gadot, she did well. Henry Cavill, I mean, you can only do so much with 10 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
Who did the voice and like mocap for Steppenwolf?
It's
Because he did well.
An older gentleman.
He did well.
I didn't remember.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. He did pretty well.
I liked Darkseid as well. I liked his mocap a lot, unless it was all computer gen.
That I'm unsure of.
But anyway,
If you know, let us know in the comments.
yeah, please. The reason I rate it so low is a lot of what you said, because I think that's about the amount of watch time that was left dead for me. 3.5 hours of it. Because the epilogue, I love the epilogue. I'd like to see that expanded on. I'd like to get a movie of that. Make 2 hours at most.
Yeah.
But literally, like 5 minutes in, I text Jason and I was like, "Why are we watching this?" But it wasn't terrible. Like, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. I've seen worse, but it was not very good in my opinion. And yeah, I was bored. And I think one thing we had talked about, Zach, when we were going to get food, was we were talking about the reason. Here, I'll let one of you guys talk about stuff first, and then we'll get into it more because I've been saying a lot.
Jason, any comments?
There were a scene where it was 5 minutes long, where it could have been a half of minute.
Everything with Lois leading up to
Literally.
Superman.
A lot of the slow motion,
Slow motion, not needed except for
the Flash.
the Flash.
The Flash, and even
And maybe even Superman, just because he can move that fast, but still. And then, so the point I think you're trying to get at is what the DCEU did, what was the exact opposite of what the MCU did. The MCU was they spent a decade, 11 years, to build up characters. Characters had their own individual films. They built up these stories. They made you feel for the characters. Hours and hours and hours of time thrown in and invested into these characters. And then, like, you had like 4, 5, 6 movies before you had a group film. The DCEU literally just tried to throw everything into one movie, which was the Justice League. Like, yes, everybody knows who the Justice League is. Everybody knows who these main characters are. But...
And aside from Cavill's Superman, Ben Affleck's Batman, and I guess Gal's Wonder Woman, no one really had their own movies. Or and Aquaman, my bad.
I
They didn't have their own movies as far as
Like,
associating these actors with the characters.
Yeah, Aquaman didn't come out until after Justice League. Man of Steel came
Really,
out,
it didn't.
Yeah, it didn't come out until like 2019, I think.
Oh, wow.
2018, 2019.
I forget Justice League was as far back as it was because I didn't care.
Wonder Woman, I'm not sure. It might have come out
the
before.
first one did, but obviously not 84.
Because this came out, I think, in 2017.
The original cut?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it did.
Okay, so they both came out the same year. But I mean, yeah, so still, I mean, and you had Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, which had some iffy screenwriting. But, yeah.
Your mother's name is Martha? Why am I trying to kill you?
Exactly. The DCU just tried to cram all of that into one movie. All the story, make you care about these characters, all the character, semi-character development into one movie. It felt
more like a cash grab than a...
Yeah, and it felt too cluttered. There was too much that they were trying to do.
Right.
All I'm going to say is, how many times are they going to reboot the DC series, like the DC universe?
How many times are they going to reboot X-Men, too? Like,
literally.
Some things just don't take, and that's got to be accepted at the Spider-Man musical. Anyone want to read my paper on it? Anyway.
Because, I mean, I am actually really looking forward to the next Matt Reeves' Batman with Robert Pattinson.
It'll be an interesting
because I think it's going to be rated R, and I think it's actually going to be a lot darker than what we've seen before. I guess on the topic of Batman.
Well, is it going to be as dark as
Christian Bale or Christopher Nolan's Batman?
Well, Christian Bale's, but
it's going to be darker. Yeah.
Really?
I've heard it's supposed to be really dark.
You won't even be able to see it.
You actually see, you actually see because I think the main villain, to my understanding, at least in the first one, is going to be the Riddler.
Jim Carrey's the Riddler?
Honestly?
Which we haven't seen in a Batman film or even on the big screen in a long time.
The Riddler?
And I think the Penguin's going to be in it.
Nah.
I was going to say, if they're doing dark, it's going to be like Penguin, Riddler, Kite Man!
Well, I feel like Scarecrow would be...
I think Scarecrow
the darker because
maybe even Bane, but they already did Bane, so maybe not.
I mean, they already did Scarecrow too with Batman Begins.
Oh my gosh, for like 5 seconds.
I mean, he was the main villain of the first.
I know. You know how much I remember about that? None.
0.
But on the topic of Batman, who's the best Batman of all time?
Excuse you. Who's the best Batman? Adam
West.
That's fair. Yeah.
And I will go to my grave saying,
"Get the shark repellent, Robin."
Other than Adam West, who is the best Batman?
Adam West.
I'm a tie between Christian Bale and good lord, now that I say it out loud.
Are you counting the comics?
Can we count animated?
Like the animated,
like voice actors?
Going to. Because the
voice. Are you talking live action? Because it's very different.
Both, like just Batman in general.
Oh, that's difficult now.
Because I would have to say Christian Bale's up there. Kevin Conroy, who plays him in the Batman animated series and in the Arkham series. Kevin Conroy does a phenomenal job as Batman.
I really like Batman Beyond, where Batman is an old man.
Yeah.
Where Bruce Wayne is the new Alfred.
Yeah.
I love Kevin Conroy because that's the Batman I grew up on.
Yeah.
That's the 92 one, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got Michael Keaton. He's the Batman in
with the bat nipples
with Arnie
as
Mr. Freeze.
The bat nipples.
What killed the dinosaurs?
You.
The Ice Age.
Who plays Robin? It's the guy that's in NCIS or CSI or...
What is it? Is it called? Is it Batman Forever?
I don't know.
No, it's just called Batman. Wait, is there a Robin in this one? I thought Michael Keaton's had the Batman.
I forget that Adam West died like 4 years ago now. Almost.
Oh, is it
almost.
just... Oh, I am mixing it up. Michael Keaton didn't have Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was George Clooney.
Yeah, that's George Clooney.
Chris O'Donnell played
That's...
Robin.
Yes.
He's in... Oh, he is in NCIS Los Angeles.
I changed my mind. Will Arnett, Lego Batman, best Batman.
Never seen it.
What? It's so
That's such a
good.
movie.
I love it. It's actually
I want to
really
watch
good.
it. I don't know if it's on.
We'll watch
anything.
it.
Hey Brody, mail me the movie. Don't do that.
Don't.
But and then like I guess
Val Kilmer. We forgot about Val Kilmer.
Oh yeah.
Mhm. I mean, forgot about or just didn't talk about.
Because a big thing with Batman is everybody at least knows one or two characters in his rogues gallery. Everybody, whether you know comics or not, more than likely you have heard of the Joker. More than likely you've probably heard of... Who's another like really...
Poison Ivy.
Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze.
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn. Miss.
Clayface. That's a little bit
I
more
love
niche.
Clayface. Doctor. Oh gosh.
Mothman.
Doctor Insano.
The Penguin.
The Penguin,
The Riddler.
Two-Face,
Scarecrow.
Riddler,
Killer
Scarecrow, Killer Croc.
What is the Candyman?
You have the Mad Hatter. That's one.
The Condiment King.
No, is it?
There's Condiment King. There's Kite Man.
Hold on. No,
There's
you know what I'm talking about?
what, all of his really stupid ones?
No, hold on.
Because there's a lot of really dumb. There's Calendar Man. So here for there's like Eraserhead. I don't know. There's a lot that you could.
It hit me.
While you try and figure that out. But yeah, Batman
Solomon
is...
Grundy.
That's
Solomon Grundy.
right. Batman is probably one of the biggest heroes ever, like superhero-wise. Which is why...
I think the bad guy's name is Sweet Tooth.
Yeah.
Sweet Tooth.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What do they look like?
I don't want to show you.
Oh, okay.
This is what Batman looks like.
The bat nipple.
Those are his actual nipples, too.
What?
But, like, cause... Okay, which do you guys prefer, Marvel or DC?
What are we talking about here?
Because, like, when it comes to movies and even shows, I think Marvel definitely takes the lead.
That's
But when
Sweet
it
Tooth.
comes to... Oh.
You're disgusting. I was thinking about an actual villain.
No.
When it comes to video games and comics and just characters in general, I think the DC universe has a lot better. But what are your guys' opinions?
I like DC a lot better, generally. I like Marvel's movies more. I like the MCU more, I should say. But, yeah, I like DC. I like the darker, grim feel to it. Superman doesn't feel as dark and grim most of the time, but otherwise it's fairly dark because Gotham City. I like the dark grimoire, like the noir aspect to it at times, especially in everything that, especially stuff set like in Gotham. Like, I mean, I love The Killing Joke. The Red Hood animated movie was one of the first like superhero movies I watched. That I was like, holy crap, this stuff is dark too.
Dark.
Jason?
See, that's a mixed bag. I would say probably DC for the characters, but the movies is garbage.
Yeah.
I would rewatch.
They tend to be. I would see. Okay.
I would rewatch all of the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
I have seen Man of Steel and Zack Snyder's Justice League, and those are the two DC movies I've seen.
See, I'll be honest, I liked Birds of Prey.
Didn't see
I
it.
enjoyed it. I watched it with my family.
I liked it too.
A lot
I
of the
liked
reason
it. That's why I
like-
bought the Pop Funko the other day of Roman Silence.
I mean, you also bought it because Ewan McGregor.
But anyway,
Exactly.
I
That's
really
liked
liked.
it. I wouldn't buy it if I didn't like it.
Yeah, the characters, like, you got Martian Manhunter, The Flash, the Green Lantern, You've got Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman,
Hawkman, Hawkgirl. Okay.
You have
Red Tornado.
Yeah, so you've got all of these characters, and I love the TV show. Or I love the animated TV show.
Oh yeah.
Justice League.
The Justice League from
Yeah.
the early 2000s or late 90s.
Like I even liked Young Justice. A
Ooh,
decent amount. Like
I really like that
I
show.
actually
I
did
didn't.
really like Young Justice. Because
I loved Teen Titans.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I liked
Then they ruined it.
Aqualad. I liked Blue Beetle, who's actually
Yep.
gotten his own. I don't know if it's a series or movie, but he's getting something.
Isn't that in Young Justice? Isn't he in Young Justice?
Mhm.
That's
I'm
what
pretty
he's
sure.
talking about. That's what he's talking about.
Okay.
But yeah, going off of Teen Titans, I mean, all those characters are really cool.
Teen
Robin,
Titans, go! T-I-T-A-N-S, Teen Titans!
Raven.
Sorry.
which had every kid acting.
Stop!
Starfire, which had every
kid acting up.
At Zack.
Cyborg.
Which had every
Beast Boy.
Which had every kid. Wait.
I liked
Jinx.
the villains that were in
Yeah.
I loved Slater. What's that?
Slade. It's just
Slade. That's right. It was Deathstroke,
Yeah.
but
Spoopier.
Spoopy. But yeah, I mean, other than animation, live action wise, Marvel knocks it out of the park. Because they chose these characters, which I don't know if our viewers know. Disney, or not, because Disney, Marvel, because Sony owns Spider-Man, and so that left Marvel with not really anything. They had like their other characters, and the biggest one was probably the X-Men and the Hulk. That was pretty much the biggest they got, and so they're like, all right, kids, here, pick a toy. Whichever toy you pick is what we're gonna make a movie on, to sell merchandise, to make money. And they chose Iron Man, and they got a busted up actor in Robert Downey Jr. and a small time director in Jon Favreau, and it
Was he
turned
small
into
time though?
at that time he was.
When did he write Chef? When did he direct Chef?
Dude, I don't even know.
Because I feel like
He
that
was not
before.
small time before.
He was-
He was nowhere near as big as he is
I mean,
now.
Okay,
Yeah.
no one was arguing that, but he was not small time.
I was gonna say because Chef. I'm pretty sure Chef won a lot of awards. I'm pretty sure that was the late '90s.
But I mean, he was still like relative to other directors that they could have chosen, and especially cost wise.
You know what?
Everything he
No,
touches-
because Chef was 2014,
Oh, what am
so
I
it was
thinking?
way after.
Because Iron Man came out 2008,
Yeah.
I want to say. So I
To
mean,
be fair, okay, he
Favreau
worked on
had worked on other stuff like Avatar.
Elf, Swingers,
Yeah.
Friends,
I was gonna
Four
say, he was in
Christmases, like
Friends.
Rudy. I mean, he's done a lot of stuff.
He's done a lot of stuff, but I mean, he
The
wasn't a
Replacements.
household name, director wise. He wasn't like a Quentin Tarantino, Ridley Scott, that kind of name yet. And then Iron Man took off, did phenomenally well, and now Marvel is the highest grossing film franchise of all time. And Sony is just like, we got Spider-Man.
So when he said, "I want money, give me money,"
And they keep pushing back Venom, Let There Be Carnage. It's supposed to come out June 25th this year, after its like 5th pushback, and now it's not coming out until like the end of September.
You know Disney owns the rights to Spider-Man, right?
Sony does.
I thought that
I wrote an entire research paper on this.
Sony does. You can look it up. Sony owns the rights.
Because Sony opened... Okay.
Disney has a deal with Sony.
I thought that Disney purchased.
They purchased the rights because Sony, I don't care what you find here, because Sony was the one doing the musical in the early 2000s, and they kept running out of money, and then Disney purchased the licensing, and they were like, yay, our savior, and Disney said, we're not giving you any money.
Disney has a contract with Sony that allows them to use Spider-Man. Sony pays for all the the equipment and stuff like that, but Disney gets to use the character and like merchandise it, but Sony still technically owns Spider-Man. That's why Venom and all of Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery are still Sony and not Disney.
Who's in his Rogues Gallery that's still Sony?
Venom, Green Goblin, Sandman, Doc Ock,
Green Goblin.
New Goblin, I guess. Craven, I think that's his name, Craven the Hunter.
Yeah.
Black Sable. Trying to think of Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery.
Did you ever watch the animated?
Rhino.
Yep, the animated Spider-Man TV show.
Which
Drake Bell was the voice actor.
Yes, I did. That was actually pretty good. But what were we talking about?
Spider-Man.
How did we get to Spider-Man?
Talking about Spider-Man?
Talking about Disney owning everything.
Did someone just die upstairs?
I guess so.
We can call 911?
Nah, they're just running.
Yeah, Spider-Man is pretty cool. Well, yeah, that's right. So, yeah, I mean, other than Spider-Man, anyways. So, movie, yeah, whatever. Anyways, moving on. Video game-wise, actually, no. I'm going to touch on that where you're talking about the darker aspect of DC. A character that I know you guys don't like the appearance of, but I really like the Batman Who Laughs. Just the whole concept behind it and the whole idea. And it's just because I watched, to get like a little bit of background on a lot of comics, I've watched a YouTuber called Variant Comics, who y'all should check out if you haven't. He's really cool, and he talks a lot about comics, both Marvel, DC, Star Wars, TMNT, I mean, you name it, and he's probably talked about it. He talked about the Batman Who Laughs, and it's just really interesting because basically Batman's taken to his breaking point, and he ends up snapping because of all the things the Joker did, and he kills the Joker, and by doing that, it released the Joker toxin into his body, and he basically became the Joker, a Jokerized Batman, and became the Batman Who Laughs, and eventually became almost an omnipotent being.
See, that's part of what I don't like is superpowered. Oh, let's make him crazy superpowered. Let's give him basically omnipotence.
That's why I don't like Superman.
He did a lot, like because the Batman Who Laughs kills the entire Justice League.
Yeah.
He does something really brutal to Superman, where he basically forces Superman to watch his son and forces him to watch his kid and Lois die. And we don't need to be that PG.
Didn't know where you were going with it. Sorry.
And just he did a lot of stuff. I mean, so because Batman already had contingency plans for all of the Justice League, which I think the Batman Who Laughs used. But I really like that storyline, and there's a whole bunch of other storylines in DC, which I really actually thought about buying the comics service, so I could actually start reading some more DC comics. I've been talking for a while. Anything you guys want to add?
See, I don't. If we're talking about the Batman Who Laughs, it's edgy. It's very edgy.
It's like underground goth rock looking.
Mm-hmm. How does he see? He just chooses not to laugh. Chooses not to see. But did you guys ever watch the Smellville, the TV show?
No.
I never did. I've heard about it. I haven't watched it.
It's on Hulu.
Is it?
I have seen it all the way through. Not on Hulu. We own it. But I just really enjoyed it. It's they added some characters that didn't exist, but I really enjoyed it. It had Tom Welling as Superman. Lex Luthor was Michael Rosenbaum. I'm cheating and looking it up. But there was a whole episode because John Kent, who is Superman's dad, is played by I want to say Bo in Dukes of Hazzard. Bo Duke. I want to say he's Bo Duke. And there's an episode where they have Luke, and they're like, it's like basically the Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, okay.
Which, have you seen the Dukes of Hazzard?
Yes.
Nope.
Okay. It is.
I knew you hadn't when you were like, okay.
Yes. But, do you know who Sean William Scott is?
Name sounds familiar.
Goon.
Oh, yes.
He plays Bo Duke in the movie.
Okay. Right.
But
I got nothing else related. Actually, I guess TV. One of my favorite series that I don't recommend to watch unless you're teen or above is Harley Quinn on HBO Max. Oh my gosh, I love that show.
I've watched
It was
a few
good.
episodes of it.
I liked it a lot better than anything animated I've seen Marvel-wise.
really,
I like DC's animations better, personally.
That's
I
fair.
can't even think of Marvel's animation.
Exactly.
We have Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, also known, aka Hot and Cold Spider.
What?
It's not actually known as Hot and Cold Spider, but it's like with it's like Starfire, I think, and Iceman.
Okay, sure, yes.
It's really old.
I don't know what you're talking about. But
It's really, really old.
no, so I really actually enjoyed the Netflix Marvel TV shows that they had.
I did too. I want to get into Jessica Jones.
I liked it.
I like the Punisher I'm like
I like
halfway
the
through
Punisher.
season 2.
Yeah,
I've heard Daredevil kind of redeems the character a bit.
I really like that show.
I haven't really heard many good things about the Iron Fist.
I liked it, but
And I've heard some okay things about Luke Cage as well. People are probably thinking that it's going to get picked up by Disney at some point because the contract finally runs out at I think this year with a lot of those shows, or it's already run out.
I don't know why they just don't have those characters in the movies.
Probably because they didn't have the rights to them yet.
Well, yeah.
But like Disney Marvel shows that are coming out that I'm like really looking forward to. I haven't seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier's first episode yet. I don't know. I'll probably watch it through. I'm not super interested in either of those characters, but
No.
I'm actually kind of interested in Loki because I do really like that character and I do like Tom Hiddleston as an actor.
That's my thing. I couldn't even tell you their names. Don't really care about Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Anthony Mackie?
And Sebastian Stan.
Sebastian Stan?
Sure. I don't really care for them.
Moon Knight, I'm looking forward to. I do really like the character.
I don't want to get overhyped because I don't want them to family friendly it.
I think it's going to be rated R. Or not
Rated-
rated R, I mean rated TVMA.
Exactly. Should be R.
Well, I mean TVMA is the TV equivalent of R.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. What
This
other
man don't go
shows?
for sarcasm, do he?
Let's see,
I'm trying to think of other... I mean, She-Hulk might be okay.
Shulk?
Same with Miss Marvel. I don't know how much I really care about either of those two characters.
Wow, you're a misogynist.
Who is supposed to be Miss Marvel?
I don't remember.
Dude,
her
Amber
name. That name should go in the dumpster where it belongs.
But, anywho, Again, for me, I like the DC characters, but the
Yeah.
Marvel movies make the
And even video game
Marvel
wise, like
more
Marvel Spider-Man was
ubiquitous.
fun.
yeah.
And there have been some good Marvel games here and there. Usually they're Spider-Man.
Spider-Man,
You do have Iron Man VR, which I've heard good things about.
Spider-Pig,
And
Spider-Pig.
I've heard... and then you have the Lego Marvel games. But with DC you have...
the Lego
Really,
DC
actually, all you
games.
really have is Batman. It's Spider-Man and Batman, really, in the Marvel and DC hero side of video games. And the Batman games are phenomenal. I mean, you have
There's
Superman
the-
64.
Injustice.
Yeah. But I mean, like, hero specific. You only have Batman and Spider-Man, really. I mean, you have some other, like, small games that were, like, basically movie tie-ins. But other than that, you don't really have any, like, hero specific stuff. Anything else anybody wants to add?
I don't care about superhero video games. They're not my thing, really.
I heard
Also,
that-
there's there's the Avengers video game,
I heard. Oh, I was
yeah,
gonna say.
Marvel's Avengers.
I've been told that is hot.
and
dog
there's the
water.
Ultimate Alliance series.
That's true too. See, so like with Marvel's Avengers, I've heard it's really bad, and I've heard it's getting better.
And there's a Deadpool game.
There is, and actually, I kind of like that game because Nolan North voices Deadpool,
Yeah.
and he does a pretty good job. And I love.
And a Lego Marvel game.
Oh yeah, the Lego games.
What is the Deadpool game?
You basically plays there's a lot of fourth wall breaks, and it's voiced by Nolan North, who voices like
Everything.
Drake
Yeah.
in Uncharted.
There's a Captain America game.
And
A couple, actually.
I mean, yeah, but like a lot of those are movie tie-ins. Like they made them based off the movies. But yeah, like I've heard Marvel's Avengers is getting better. I know people weren't happy with the first two DLC characters because they're both archers, and they're both characters nobody really cares about because
Who are they?
There's Kate Bishop,
Okay.
who's Hawkeye's daughter,
Yep.
and then it was Hawkeye.
Interesting.
The newest one is Black Panther. He's going into the game, and I think adding on to the story. Spider-Man is supposed to be going in at some point. It's only going to be PlayStation because Spider-Man's a Sony thing. So the Xbox is not going to get... There's rumors that maybe Xbox might get like Ghost Rider. I think that was some talk.
Interesting.
Which that
Isn't
movie,
that-
what I saw it for my birthday when it came out. That movie was hot garbage.
Excuse you. The first one and the second one are both hot garbage, but I would rewatch them because they're entertaining hot garbage.
Exactly, they're entertaining.
I don't like. I actually really liked it because
I
it's
didn't have a
got.
problem with them.
It has a.
I mean, I had fun when I watched them, but
It has Nick Cage.
Yeah.
And I just enjoyed it. I was like, this is so bad, and I love it. But, they did a cartoon of Ghost Rider.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was in either Spider-Man or something, and they, like, fleshed out that character a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and it was heartbreaking because it's such a upsetting character.
Yeah. And I think Ghost Rider is actually like one of the more powerful characters in Marvel,
Yes.
if I remember correctly. And one of my favorite that I've seen so far in my endeavors in Marvel stories is just the fight between Thanos and Deadpool when it comes to their love interest,
Nah, you capping.
which is Lady Death.
Nah, you capping.
Thanos wants to keep killing people,
Get her
by snapping his
attention.
finger, to gain her approval and her attention, and Deadpool just can't die. So it's actually kind of interesting seeing those
You know
three
that-
interact.
Deadpool's wedding was it is like the Guinness World Record for the most comic book characters on the cover of a comic book
Mm-hmm.
Really?
because it's a lot of characters.
Oh, probably. I
And I'm
remember
pretty
that.
sure he's getting married to like Lady Death.
Um,
'Cause this is Zach. This is what it looks like.
that is a lot of comic book characters on one cover.
Yeah.
I think I've talked a lot.
Ooh, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Never
I
watched
haven't
it.
watched it.
The first season, really good because there's a twist at the end. And then I couldn't tell you, like, there's like 10 seasons, and I don't know what happens in any of them.
Really? I know there's a Spaghetti Monster Man. That's about all I know.
Well, like, because they, like, go into the future, and then they go into the past, and then they go in the future, and then they're, like, in the past, and then there's, like, Monsters of the Week, and then it's, like, the main character, her mom and her dad, and then he dies, but then he doesn't die or something. It's utterly confusing.
You know what show I really liked?
Hmm.
Has nothing to do with either of these. It's Heroes.
Interesting. I watched
It was on NBC.
Mm-hmm.
Really liked the first season. Really, did any of you watch that?
Yes.
It has like Zachary Quinto and like
Yeah.
Masioka in it, and Greg Grunberg.
Milo Ventimiglia. Haley Joel Osment? No.
No.
That is a boy. That is...
Yeah.
What is...
I was thinking of Hayden Panettiere.
Hayden Panettiere, that's what I'm thinking of. Is
Yeah.
100%.
Kristen Bell's in it too, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
But just a lot of people that I really, really like watching. Did you? Yeah, oh, Zach, I think you'd like that show. The first part of it, at least.
Save the cheerleader.
But it
save
just
the
kind of, fizzled out towards
Yeah.
the end.
Save the cheerleader. Save the
Save the
world.
cheerleader, save the world. Claire. Was that her name?
I believe so.
Claire Bennett or something? Yeah, that had to be it.
Something like that. I tell you what.
Also, I mean, The Boys was great.
Yeah, that's
What's the
true.
one?
I do actually really like The Boys. Part of me I think I could be wrong with Boys might be it's either Marvel, I think it's probably DC that they have like some relationship with. But I did really like The Boys, and I'm really excited for season 3 because Homelander's just gonna be off the hook.
What about The Watchmen?
I haven't seen the series, and I've gotten about halfway through the movie because it's also another really long movie.
Have you read the comic?
I have not. We had the option of reading it for one of my English classes, but I never
It's
read
such a
it.
strange English class.
Like, I really kind of like the look of Rorschach.
Are you talking Watchmen?
Mm-hmm.
You mean the Rorschach test?
Yes.
What does that make you think of, Zach? Your parents? Daddy issues? Mommy issues? But, or Night Owl, I believe, is one of the characters.
Going on.
The
really-
Boys is with Dynamite Entertainment, nothing to do with Marvel or DC.
That's what I said. Huh.
It's not.
I know Watchmen is DC, I think.
Something like that. I want a new Watchmen. The first one was same problem that I had with Snyder Cut. Long.
Going really far back to earlier in the podcast, with Let There Be Carnage.
It is DC.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It needs to be rated R if it wants to be successful, because Carnage is a very violent character.
Nah, you capping.
I love Woody Harrelson. He's a phenomenal actor. He does not look right as Cletus Cassidy, especially with that red wig on. He just does not look right, and it just feels off. It also feels like, I don't know how many of y'all have seen Venom.
Oh my god.
Have you seen Venom?
Nope.
Yeah, I liked it. Also, I think the wig's done, but Woody Harrelson looks fine.
Yeah, I wanted to see Venom. I would have really
I have an
enjoyed
open
it.
mind about it, so I think it's fine.
I think the script, which is a problem with Sony superhero films in the past, is it was a little too hand-holdy. Like, I think it would have been a nice little Easter egg, in my opinion, that he wouldn't have set, like, because we saw him in the cage, and we knew his name was Cletus Cassidy. If he didn't say, there's going to be carnage when I get out, it would have been a really nice Easter egg, because, made people look up after the film, like, what people did with Guardians, and they're like, oh my god, that they saw this thing at the end, and it turned out to be, when you look it up, it's Adam Warlock. who's a really, really powerful character in Marvel. And it would have been just kind of interesting for them to be like, who's Cletus Cassidy? And then just increase more intrigue and stuff into the movie instead of them being hand-holdy and being like, my name's Carnage, basically.
I think they're fine with it in this case, though. I mean,
Because
there's still a really good amount of interest, so I don't
Yeah.
see a problem with it.
My problem with Venom is it's just the script was not good, in my opinion. A lot of the dialogue was pretty bad, and it just felt too hand-holdy. Like, I don't know. Like, I get they're trying to bring people into it, but also it feels like they're alienating people who actually know the characters and
I don't know. I don't feel that way.
History.
I mean, I don't have a problem with it, and I'm a big fan of that series. It's one of I love Carnage, and like I just love everything with Venom and Carnage. It's one of the few things in Marvel that I really do like Moon Knight. The slightly dark side of DC.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Anyways, I think we'll probably just wrap up the podcast there unless you guys have anything else to add.
I've got nothing.
I'm good.
Alright, thank you guys for listening. If you let us know in the comments your opinions on Marvel and DC.
Or other superheroes, supervillains.
And what like your favorite stuff from those things are. What your favorite comics are and stuff like that. Make sure to check out our Twitch channels. They'll be put in the description as we play Apex for our esports team here, as well as occasionally some other games here and there, like Left 4 Dead 2 or something like that. Deceit, where I get upsetty spaghetti.
You're just bad at the game.
You're just bad at deceiving.
Ah, dang, you're right.
Just get better at lying.
But yeah, thank you guys for listening, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.